40.
Preparados todos y todas porque hoy día en los 40 estamos con Oliver Tree, un cantante de Estados Unidos que tiene muchas canciones virales en TikTok y que próximamente estará sacando su disco Alone in a Crowd. How are you, Oliver?
I am doing amazing. How are you today?
I'm good too. I'm from Chile. I don't know if you have been here already.
I have not, but I have a list of places I want to go, and it is very, very high. It's right up at the top of places that Oliver Tree needs to be. And I'm really working this year very hard to try to come and take a tour there. So it's right on my first list of places to go.
That sounds really exciting now that you're starting touring like in Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. Are you excited about that?
Yeah, it should be amazing. I worked on this show for 5 years, and it's a mixture of a movie, a TV show, a play, a concert, comedy, inspirational speaking, WWE wrestling, scooter stunts. It's a full 360 immersive experience, and I've invested millions of dollars into creating something that I feel like hasn't really been done yet, and I'm so proud of it. So I'm very excited, and I'm dreaming to take it to Chile. So I this version, it will be the next, and it will be even better and bigger. So it's very something I'm very passionate about, and I'm very proud of.
Yeah, I have to say, all of your songs are really different from each other. So, how do you play with that and the video and the audio visual and everything, and to put that together in a show?
For me, I really don't listen to music, so I grew up and I had many different phases of many different styles, and I think that I get bored easy. I'm on to the next thing. I want to explore more things. I don't really like to just do one thing. I feel bored very easily. And I think when I created the Oliver Tree Project, my biggest fear was to be pigeonholed and expected to do one thing and one sound and recreate it over and over, because I am an actual artist. I write every lyric, every melody. I produce the music. I direct and write the videos. I produce the videos. I'm very hands-on. I want to make things. So for me, having different styles that I can explore gives me so much excitement and freedom. So I think when you take all these different things that I grew up loving and different characters and things that are within myself, and I kind of pull them to life, I find that it makes things more interesting and makes me hungry to make more things and not feel like I'm burnt out and just already did this, I'm done. It's like I want to move to the next thing. And in the context of the way I present myself, the way I look, having something so wildly different, none of the music makes sense that a guy who looks like me would be singing it. So it is actually great because you can have any random different style. And since I look not like anyone who would sing any of them, it actually makes a lot of sense. In the context of my concert, where it is now is like I've broken it into the different characters from the different albums. So there's many costume changes and looks and evolutions, and you get a taste of so much different styles. I mean, dance, rap, pop music, rock music, country music. I mean, literally as many genres as I can fit. We got classical music in the concert. So it's like, for me, it actually makes a lot of sense because you get an experience that kind of goes through everything, and there's something for everyone. If you go to a festival and you don't want to see this, but your friend dragged you along, there's probably one song you could enjoy, you know? So that's for me, as my dream is to try to make as much inspiration with as many people on this planet while I'm alive. And this is kind of, I think, one of the ways I do that is by just making it very diversified, and one thing will eventually click with each person. Maybe not, but I can try, you know. If they don't like it, maybe they'll laugh. Maybe they'll see me get beat up on stage in a fight. Funny for them. Maybe they don't want to hear the music, but maybe the visuals look crazy in the music video. So I try to make something as diverse as possible when it's my music, when it's my shows, when it's my day-to-day life.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's really amazing how you put that all together. And I have to ask, where did you find inspiration to make all of these characters that you talk about?
Each one has been different. The first character, that was the haircut I had my whole life, the bowl cut, and basically the jacket I stole from my mom. The Jinko jeans were the pants I always wanted. The socks and sandals were the most ridiculous shoe style. So it was very much personal to me growing up, my childhood. I was too scared to get any haircut. I was like, don't cut my hair. And so I always had that. And then when I made my cowboy album, Cowboy Tears, that character was very much inspired by my grandfather was a cowboy, lived on a ranch. I grew up going to the ranch, so I had that in my kind of veins. My great grandfather was a cowboy. My great great grandfather was a cowboy. So I come from a lineage of that. So for me, it's paying homage and going back to my childhood, the summers spent on the ranch. And this new one has been a new journey. This new character has been centered around designing and fashion. And during the process of making this album, I just have been designing a lot of different clothing. I became a clothing designer and I haven't been focused on releasing it, just making as much designs and getting as inspired. And so the look you see for that character, I designed it all myself. And so the character in the story and the backstory I won't get into, but essentially he's a designer. And so that's kind of where his whole look and style has emerged from.
What can you say about your next album that it's coming out on 29th of September, Alone in a Crowd? Why did you choose that title? What do you want to express with that?
Through the process of some of my songs having such big success on TikTok and my life changing and kind of becoming more and more famous, which wasn't something I ever wanted, but it's just part of the job. You know, if you want to make art that connects with people, if you're lucky, it will. And if you are lucky that it does, it comes with things that are maybe somewhat unlucky. And one of those things was, the celebrity thing, which isn't like, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but it isn't healthy. It's not a good thing to have lots of people love you or lots of people hate you. So for me, I felt more isolated, more alone, and I felt more lonely than ever. But that's not relatable. That concept of me being like having that experience is not a relatable thing. But the album isn't about that. It's about feeling lonely. And I think everyone can feel lonely. And I had many versions of this album. And through the process, I actually fell in love. And I think this album, it was started out as a very dark album, and as I fell in love, the album shifted, and I think it's still applied because even though you are with someone, you still go to bed with your own thoughts in your head. You still go to sleep alone in a way, even if someone's next to you. And you can be alone with that person together in that crowd. You can be alone together. But the idea of loneliness in this crowd, I think, is an interesting concept because you may feel lonely and people and everyone else feels lonely as well. So it's like we're all alone together. And I think that that's an important idea to remind ourselves when we do feel lonely. It's like, well, I know you feel that way, but you know, you're not the only one. We all feel that way.
Thank you so much for your time. It was really nice to talk to you. So thank you.
Thank
Have a
you. I
nice
appreciate you. Have a great day.